Hi guys, I'm back in Pueblo. So the drive from Pueblo to Santa Fe, have you guys done it yet?
No.
It's beautiful. Because there's mountains and there's hills and it's got a beautiful sunset. So these are my friends, Dirk and Sarah. We met in Linguere. They were not Peace Corps volunteers. They were missionaries. And how long did you guys live there?
We were in Linguere for 6 years, and in Yumbo for 1, and Burkina Faso for 1, so 8 total.
And what did y'all do in Linguere specifically?
I was working as a missionary of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, sent to work with the Lutheran Church of Senegal. And so I was the pastor to the congregation that was in Linguere, and I also accompanied the other programs that were going on in Linguere. There's a health program and a milk program, we always called it, which is basically an animal husbandry program, crossbreeding the local cows with a dairy breed, like Holstein or Jersey, so that the people who live in the villages surrounding there could bring their animals, and then the crossbred cows would produce about 4 times as much milk as their moms.
And we went there regularly.
Which...
And they sell butter now.
Wow.
They sell butter now. I think they're moving up to cheese.
They tried butter
Slowly.
once while we were there, and
It is. They're selling it regularly, and it goes like hotcakes.
You know, when we were in Senegal, everyone would say, "Oh, you live in Linguere, it's hot there." And we'd say, "Yes, it is." And then the next thing they'd say is, "There's lots of milk there."
Yep.
And there is lots of milk during rainy season, but what's great about the crossbreeding program is that now we have milk year round. And that was something, having fresh milk just by giving people a bottle and having them fill it and then pasteurize it. I miss that.
Yeah.
But the health project is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And working as a pastor there was pretty cool.
And yesterday was International AIDS Day.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It was.
And there's a...
And Marianne does awesome work with the AIDS.
And the Association of Hope, the people living with HIV/AIDS in the Linguere area, welcomed me into their fold, even though I was not infected. But I got to serve as their pastor, even though they were all Muslim. I was welcomed to their monthly meetings where we would have conversation about the stigma attached to it and how to take their medicine properly and hygiene and just overall nutrition. And we would have a meal together and we'd dance and play bowls as drums, and it was good times.
So you finished in Senegal.
Yep.
And you moved back to Iowa for a little bit.
Yep.
And then you moved here to Pueblo.
Yes, then we moved here to Pueblo. So I came back wanting to serve as a parish pastor here in the United States, and I got this call to serve in Pueblo. And here
Perfect
is
timing.
my other call. Oh, remind me when I leave. What? I don't understand these things. They are so
They're
smart and
we
awesome.
We talked about that yesterday, how scary iPhones are because they talk to you.
However, I figured out that even though I have a smartphone, my ear is dumb. Because when I mute my phone all the time when I hold it right here.
Oh, yeah?
If I'm not using my Bluetooth, my ear presses the mute button, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
And people laugh at me. I don't want to talk to you right now.
Later, Mom.
So,
I watched it.
Mom, I will call you later because I love you so much. But congregation out here thought that I matched up with what they were looking for in a leader, and a place where I could come and hone the craft of being a pastor, where I can preach, I can lead Bible studies, help out in all the phases of ministry because I'm the only pastor. So, so this first year I'm just learning what it is to be in ministry here in Pueblo, and we've gotten to taste a little bit of what Pueblo is all about, and it's a great place to live.
Because it's cheap.
It's cheap, lowest housing prices in Colorado, but it's big enough that we have things like the Pueblo Symphony that actually plays at a fairly high level. Broadway shows that come in. There's so much happening each weekend that we can't do it all.
The state fair is
The
here?
Colorado State Fair is here. It's only a few blocks from where we're living, so we got to hear the concerts at night at
free.
our house. And there's a new river walk that was built a couple years ago here in Pueblo, which it's about 1.5 miles or 2 miles, and it's right downtown. And it's there are 3 different downtown areas that are sort of historic shopping districts. And in those areas, we have festivals as well. So the Chilean Frijoles Festival is sort of the big one. And other festivals I can't even come up with. You know any festivals?
You guys have sloppers.
Remember, we have sloppers.
We do.
They're
We have
yummy.
sloppers.
What's a slopper specifically?
A slopper is a gigantic hamburger with no top bun, smothered in Pueblo green chilies. Sometimes with fries mixed in there. It's very tasty.
So you eat it in a bowl. And
Yeah.
It's like a soup with a big old hamburger dropped in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You don't get much more American than that.
No. And the other thing that we have is Dutch lunch.
Dutch lunch.
You go to Gus's. Gus's place is a tavern. And you go in and they sell you a big schooner of beer, like a big fishbowl of beer, and they ask if you want small or large, and then they bring out slices of white bread, Italian white bread, and lunch meat on another plate, and so you've got your ham, prosciutto, salami, and then some cheeses, and then onions and tomatoes, and you just sort of make up a sandwich and you eat it and you drink your beer.
That sounds beautiful.
And it's a good place to go. They don't serve anything else except for Dutch lunch. So.
But hey, if you got it, flaunt it and sell it.
Pueblo was built. It grew up around the steel mill in town. It closed down, and so and then it's been reopened under another name, but doesn't have as high a production. But that's really what built up Pueblo. But it's an interesting place because there is a lot of diversity. About half of the population can speak Spanish, and so we have both newly arrived folks and people who have been here for a couple generations, and then there's there are other ethnicities that are here as well. We have sort of an Italian mix, and then Polish folks. Bojans. It's a derogatory term. You shouldn't put that in your video.
How on time do you need to be for that meeting?
I should probably head. I'm leaving to go to church because that's what I do. Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
You have a little bit for me, and she can talk.
Sure.
Bye, Dirk.
Okay.
What else is there? So it's cheap. You got sloppers. You got mountains.
Nice weather.
Nice weather and no traffic.
Oh, and the swimming pool's on every corner.
And there's swimming pools on
Not every
every
corner, but we do have some good pools.
almost every corner.
We haven't been in one yet.
No, our girls have though.
Oh.
But why, with all that, why would you want to go to Denver? Even though that is the next stop on my trip.
And the largest body of water in Colorado is Lake Pueblo, which is like 20 minutes outside of town here.
That way.
A certain direction. That way.
I don't know where it is. I'll turn around.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's a huge reservoir and there's a lot of boating and fishing and stuff, and they have a state park there you can camp and it's right, literally like within 15 minutes from our house right here.
This is gonna be fun to edit.
I so thought that was it. You're gonna have to edit this.
That's alright.
Or leave me in.
All for entertainment value.
Yep.
I like that it's dry here.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what dry heat was until, well, because I grew up in Minnesota and Iowa in the summer. It was humid there. And so, well, we did spend 1 year in California, in Sacramento. And then I found out what it was. And then living in Linguere, I got very used to it, obviously.
Because Linguere's a desert.
And it's really hot.
It's really hot.
But
It's
dry
sandy.
most of the year. In fact, in Linguere, humid season, like it was a relief when it first rained because it took away that super hot heat.
Mhm.
But I hated.
Yeah.
I much preferred insanely hot dry season to
I did too.
mildly hot. Well, here we call it insanely hot wet season too. But Pueblo is like that, just a lot cooler most of the time.
And less dusty.
Less dusty. Most of the time. They do get dustier, but not as bad as Linguere was. And we have windows that actually keep dust out here if you leave them shut.
There you go.
Whereas in Linguere,
It's sketchy.
sometimes.
Well, thanks for letting me stop by and spend the night here. It was lovely. Me too. So,
All of the Linguere Jollof area Peace Corps volunteers should come and visit us at some point.
they should! Team Linguere, get it together, guys. Faye, Jen. Who else?
Andrew.
Andrew's in Spain.
What?
Yeah.
If
Senegal.
they come back.
They'll come back. They live in Linguere. They have to come back.
I lasted for 6 years.
That's true. So, yeah, when you come back from the land of the dead to the land of the living, come visit.
Pueblo.
Come to Pueblo.
And if you want, I'll make you Senegalese food. But, wait for a few months after you've been back. When you actually want it again.
Yep. So, next stop, Denver. See you guys next time.